It's dosing and dagging, clipping and tagging, rattling, teasing, topping, flushing and sponging, scanning and lambing, shedding, bedding, redding, spot inspections, cross infections, fly strike, ticks and bots, vets bills, feed bills, fertilizer and seed bills, steeples, sheep wire and posts. We're just coming to give maybe a dose here, if we can catch it. That's her. Just my little dosing gun. Good girl. I'm just walking up to the sheltered end of this shed because there is so much wind today. It's unbelievable. Very cold, and the wind noise in this old phone as I'm recording here is terrible. I bought a fluffy mic for it, but it doesn't work very well, and it's more bother than enough clicking it in and keeping it on. So these little girls in this house, there's about 15 of them. Yep, and they are going out into the they're the last ones in the house. They're the ewe lambs that weren't put in lamb, a dozen of them, and then there's a couple of sheep in here, one that had got a knock and lost her 2 lambs, and they are going out into the field today because it will save me opening another bale of silage. So that's what we're going to do. They're just going out into the wee paddock here behind the tractor. So we're in Watson's store here today, and I'm just getting a few parts for the old International tractor. Scott's sorting me out here. So Scott, what I am looking for, that's coming out of the back of my tractor.
Okay.
One tipping pipe. The International is very sparse on hydraulics, so I need 2 of those coming out of the back of the tractor, a bend and a T-piece into the main flow coming from the tractor.
I know.
And that will give me 2 tipping pipes.
T from one and make 2.
Yep, T for 2.
So we'll go for a T. For one of these.
Yep, that's looking good. And there's one already on the tractor, so we'll just need one of those. Yep, that's me and a few seal washers.
There.
That's us. That's it.
Job done.
That's us sorted out, Scott. Good man.
Yeah,
I just need just a bag of lamb like now, and that's me. But I hear you're just back from Spain. What was going on there?
Oh, yeah, we've done a 2-day test for Kawasaki at Oregon in Spain.
What sort of a test is this?
So I work for a Kawasaki, a Team 109 Kawasaki team. And just a pre-season testing like before the season starts at the end of May.
Very good. So you're not just working in Watson's hydraulic store then all the time?
Do bits and pieces of everything.
So there you are. So I have a couple of cousins in Australia that work with Honda 50s. Could you give them a big tune-up?
Well, not a problem, yeah. Make them go alright.
Like a nitrous button on her?
Anything you want.
There you are. Rightio, we'll get the lamb light. The wind noise was so bad and windy in the yard there, I had to overdub this. But anyway, what I'm saying is, the last day I came down to Watson's, I had put a few pounds in my coat, and then when I came away from home I threw my coat off before I got in the car, and I had no money, so I had to borrow some off the gov who works out in the workshop. So I'm just returning it, and there's Decky. Here we are. Here's the little fitting I got from Watson's. It's really just a diverter. This is into my mower, this pipe here. That lets me lift my mower, and then the loader's on the front of the tractor. This is it coming in here. So that lets me divert the oil flow to the loader by pushing that up, or by pulling it down. That diverts it to the mower to lift it and let it down. So that's a good job. It really needs to be put up on the mud guard here. But anyway, it's working all right. I've tried it out there, so that's good. A little bit more fertilizer. Now here's an old tree behind me, and look at that. There used to be a hole in it, and the jackdaws used to come down and nest in it. But it's split in half, and I don't know how that tree stays up. It's been up. Wait till you see when you come round this side. Look at that. There's a jackdaw's nest in it from years ago. It's really only hanging on by a bit of the bark, and there must be half a ton in that up there. Don't know how it stays. And it's all coming out in bloom. It's an ash tree. And this old apple tree, it's about 70 years old, and it's gone there, so I'm just cutting it up. All those little childhood memories you have are coming and going. All those little rings of life, there's bound to be a story in each one of those, or a song. And it actually brings to mind an old hymn that my dad used to whistle all the time when he was going around doing his veterinary calls, and I was a wee fella in the car. And the words of it is, "Life at best is very brief, like the binding of a sheaf, like the falling of a leaf, be in time." So that's it. Time. This old pump's on the wall now. It's dubbed, there's nothing connected to it or anything else, but there was a wee blue tit had nested in it last year. I saw them in and out there a while ago, but I don't think there's nothing in it while I was working there, so I'll have a wee look inside. Do you see that? There was an old tennis ball lying, and they've got it. That's what the green is there. And they come up and out. It hasn't been anything in it this year, but last year they were going in there, and then they come out and down the spout and away. So there's life everywhere.
Well, the very next day, we were on our way to Ballymena Mart. Well, there's a nice wee pen, she said, when 9 or 10. Sure, that would be a real good start. So I slipped in through the gate to evaluate that pen of pregnant mums. But it all went south when I looked in their mouths. Not a tooth in their heads, just gums. I got talking to a man for Ballyclare Toonlan. He had a flock of cleans, guaranteed in lamb. He'd had them scanned. There were triplets, singles and twins. At the setting of the sun, the deal had been done, and she had bought those sheep. Was this the end? No, my friend, that was just the start.
So Kitty had me fooled there. I thought she was going to have triplets beside her, but she just had one. She says she was just having an easy year and looking after herself. So there you are. It's a lovely wee lamb. It's a big lamb. And everybody's coming to congratulate her. So there's the little lamb snuggled in at the front. Look at that, isn't that nice? He's up having a stretch. So that's okay, they're happy enough out, and she's keeping it tucked in beside her. So that's okay, I'll go away to bed. Now, there's 2 or 3 left to lamb here, and they're in among this, so I don't know how I'm going to get the 3 out of it without the whole lot coming in.
Working on a farm up at the crack of dawn. Jump out of bed and get your overalls on.
Get your overalls